Order the regular meeting Monday, March 12th, 2018. Would you care to lead us in the pledge, Big Guy?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Jim. Sean.
Here.
Patricia.
Here.
Bo.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
David.
Here. I got a few announcements I want to make. Remember to keep in your prayers Mrs. Bonnie Porter, who is our Main Street Director. Also, we are going to have a town hall tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the SIP. And council members, you've got a little format of how that's going to be run tomorrow night. So if you want to take a look at that. And that's at 6 o'clock, SIP Cinema. Also, on Thursday, the 15th, there's a Trail Town meeting at 6 o'clock at the Ramada. You're more than welcome to attend that. Mr. Gary McClure, we're having a CRS meeting at 6:30 at the Recreation Center. Is that correct? That's Thursday night, right here, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
And you want to explain to the people here what the CRS really is?
That's the community. You want to do it? You want me to? Go ahead. Let me introduce Monica here, since we were doing that anyways. This is Monica Spriggs, and she's our newest employee at the Ad District. She started with us back last August as an intern, and she graduated in December from EKU. She's from out Flat Gap. And one of the projects that we had her work on as an intern was the community rating system, or the CRS, so I'm going to let her tell you about it.
Okay, so the community rating system is something that the city's already participating in, and basically it's an incentive program to get a discount on flood insurance. And what I was working to do is actually try to improve our rating. And we're a level 9. It's a 1 through 10 rating. Level 9 is what we are now. That's a 5% discount, and we're trying to improve to get a higher. The goal was a level 7 or a rank 7. To increase the discount. And so my internship, that was basically what I worked on primarily for the city. And a lot of that's outreach, putting things in the library, things like that. And so part of that is a floodplain plan that Gary and I have worked on, and Regina as well. And that's what the meeting will actually be about. And you know, we really welcome the input of the community to help us come up with ideas to actually, for mitigation ideas for flood awareness, things like that. So I'll be here Thursday as well. Is there any specific questions about the community rating system? Or?
So I mean, I just always assumed that it was just the flood plan was something that was determined by the government based on your elevation and water,
That's the flood plain. The plan itself is more like a documentation that the city, there's a hazard mitigation plan that covers the 5 counties for Big Sandy region. Paintsville is included in that. But what we're trying to do is get a more specific for Paintsville itself. So a plan that's more specific. It talks about the watershed that is directly affecting us, and things that the city can do to improve, you know, to improve upon, I lost the words, what's a good way to say it there?
Well, we have to do it in order to improve our rating of
Right.
the CRS system, so that's one of the things.
So,
It's
but
just what we're gonna do.
improving that rating would lower people's flood insurance
Right.
costs? Okay, all right, well, great.
Is it based on like I always heard like 100-year floodplain or something to that effect?
The rating, the discount that you're getting?
No, I'm talking about the floodplain itself, is it
What
a
does that mean?
100-year
Yeah.
floodplain?
Well, there's a 100-year and a 500-year. To give you a perfect example,
How do you change that? How do you get that changed?
the 500-year floodplain would actually be to the top of your generator out back here. That's why we build it up so high, because when you expend federal dollars,
Yeah, I remember.
they make you go
I
above
remember that.
we have to go above the 500-year floodplain. The same as City Hall. You see where the City Hall generator is? That's the 500-year floodplain.
Does it ever change?
Yes, actually, we just had new maps that were approved in August.
Okay, so what's this one then?
And, well, we're not changing your maps, we're changing your,
I mean,
The right.
to me, after we have had, we've got plenty of flood control now. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I
But-
agree.
And you still be paying, outrageous flood insurance stuff. And I understand, and I appreciate what you're trying to do. But I don't understand why it keeps being based, everybody says, well, you can't change it, it's 100-year flood. Well, it's gotta be able to be changed sometime.
Actually, what you need is a new study, and the mayor has already applied for a grant that will,
Is that
we
kind
can't
of
call it a
good?
flood study, but that'll be the end result, is that we will be able to look at our floodplain again, and to look at Paint Creek, to look at the river. That's what happened up in Prestonsburg when they had their
Yeah, they got theirs
study,
reduced.
and it
yeah.
reduced their floodplain. But now remember, just because you get it reduced on a map doesn't mean that you've
Oh,
really,
yeah, I
truly
understand.
100% reduced it in your life, because you could still have a flood. But we have applied for those funds, I guess we applied in the fall, and I just checked on those the other day, and they haven't awarded them yet. But we're hoping to obtain a grant.
That's the
to do
reason
that.
you've got a lot of houses for sale that can't be sold because of the flood insurance. And I mean, that's just hurting.
Well, that's what they're
City
working
of
on now, and we're hoping to get it.
Yeah, that's what they're
Really,
working
it's
on
already
now.
reduced, what, 5%?
5%,
Yeah, the
yeah.
city's been getting a 5% discount for quite some time. Mr. Stewart takes care of that.
So how expensive is the study? I mean, you're saying you're looking for a grant, which is great.
Yeah.
We love
I
grants.
think it was about $100,000.
Oh, good. Okay.
See, what happened,
We already had
I
a meeting.
thought it was like $1,000. I go, let's go ahead and just pay it ourselves.
now correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I may be wrong, but the last study that was done, for some reason, the study stopped at the Floyd County line.
That was the one that Prestonsburg did, yes,
Okay.
it did stop at the
So-
Floyd County line.
Those three good people there and myself couldn't figure out why that happened.
Well, that's my next question.
So,
Why would it done it?
Well, because they weren't gonna do it for us.
Well, there was only so much funding that,
And the
that.
funding just happened to run out.
Just happened
to
run out
at the
Floyd
county
County
line,
line.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a project area, but
Yeah.
not, we wasn't involved in that project, but,
Okay.
we're
We're involved in this one now.
We
But
can
we're
get-
involved
if we
now.
get the grant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
$100,000.
yeah.
so we need a large crowd here if we can get it, right?
Yeah, it'd be great, we'd love to hear everyone's
So
comments.
anybody out there that owns property that's in the floodplain, if you're paying this outrageous flood insurance, try to talk to your neighbors and get them here. And, the bigger the better for that one.
What time did you say that was?
6:30, here.
Yes,
It is here at the rec center, 6:30.
And also, your Pride cleanup, roadside cleanup is gonna be on April the 11th, and Mr. Shoes Hale will be taking care of that. That'll be from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon. I guess that's the Pride organization, they go around and pick up trash off the roadways and that type of thing. And your spring cleanup is gonna be, April the 16th through the 20th.
That's when we can put stuff out
That's
and
when
we
you
don't
can
get
put
charged.
stuff out, you don't get charged.
Okay.
Now, let me read this to you, make it clear. City of Paintsville has designated the week April 16 through 20, 2018 as spring cleanup week. Anyone who has extra trash to be picked up should call City Hall, and you will be put on a list for the week. Now, if you don't get picked up within that week, Miss Virgie, we will come and get it anyway, correct?
It'll take them 3 or 4 weeks.
It'll take them 3 or 4 weeks. So don't pay any attention to that, actually. You will be,
Excuse me, they have to call during that week, though.
yeah, you got to call during that week, but it doesn't mean that we have to get you during that week. We have to pick stuff up during that week.
I'm gonna call you in the morning.
That'll be fine. You will be allowed 1 pickup load during that week. And the extra trash must be set in front of your house, in front of your home. No tires, no paint cans, no construction materials will be picked up. This will be a free service for this week only if you call during that week. It doesn't mean that we're not gonna spend a couple other weeks to pick it up. Is that clear as mud, everybody? Okay. I need to approve the minutes, please, the last meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? I need approval of department reports.
I make a motion to approve departmental reports.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? I'm glad you can say that word, Sean, because I can't. I need approval to pay bills as presented.
I so move that we do that.
I'll second.
Thanks.
I wanted to, but I get tired of saying.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? All right, let's move on to business.
That's one of those deals we gotta
First order of business.
give them permission.
We've got to approve a request from Paintsville Utilities for the purchase of an excavator. Mr. Pack is here. Do you want me to read that, or you want to read it?
Please go ahead.
They 2K CX 50B compact excavators, 2006 model. Others 2010. 2006 has developed serious mechanical problems. The repair estimate is $24,864.75. Given the age of the unit, its importance to the maintenance crew, we have determined that replacement is the best approach. We solicited multiple bids through state contract master agreement, and the best option is approved by the Paintsville Utilities Commission is from Wilson Equipment. The list price of a case CX60C, $89,091. Kentucky State contract discount is $29,641. Optional hydraulic thumb, $3,075 for a total of $62,525. We request City Council approval for the purchase of this unit. It is a much-needed piece of equipment.
So is utilities purchasing it outright, or are they borrowing the money for it?
All right.
I make a motion, we let them spend their money.
Second.
All in favor?
That's what you do.
Opposed? Okay, the equipment from the country club that we discussed last time, that we want to use as surplus property, or we want to sell the surplus property. It was kitchen equipment taken out of the old country club building. We have got that stored over at City Garage, and all we need is your approval for us to put it up for surplus. In other words, advertise it,
To be sold.
and then, I guess, put a minimum bid on it, whenever the time comes.
This municipal order is just the written determination that was made last week to do this, but under the statutes, there has to be a written statement that it's been determined to be surplus, that you did to sell it with a given method as provided by the statute. That's all in there.
You just need a
Yes, we need a,
Vote to approve that order, that municipal order.
I make a motion, we approve the municipal order to sell the surplus property from the country club.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? I'm gonna open it up to council if you have anything at this time.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of the Southside Raisers. I wanna thank Joe Keaton and the street crew for finally digging that ditch. I know Sue Baldridge is happy. It's not coming down in her yard anymore, and it was washing out a little bit where Dave Conley lives there, so they got that cleaned up, and then they cleaned the trash up, for evidently it's coming from those apartments there.
Right as you start eating.
Yeah.
Started at the
Yeah,
mouth.
evidently they're standing up over the mountain, just throwing it over the hill, and I guess we sent them letters, haven't we, Mayor?
Yes, we have.
But they continue to let them do it.
And
I don't
go,
think there's hardly anybody living in those apartments
They
anymore.
come and go, buddy.
yeah, they come and go.
It's just like a revolving door.
we are making decent progress as far as cleaning this place up pretty good. And I will let everybody know, the public know, that we're gonna continue to do that. That was one of the big things that I wanted to get accomplished once I took that seat down at City Hall, was I just felt like we need to clean some abandoned properties up, and we're making pretty good headway with that. As long as council stays on board and all that, we can do even better, getting this city cleaned up the way we think it needs to be cleaned up. Anybody else, council? Anybody from the floor got anything?
Just like to thank everybody that's had anything to do with the Carter Lane deal. Looks like it's coming to a head, and we do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, where are we at on that?
We have purchased 2 properties,
Another one Friday.
and we will purchase another property Friday. And where's Miss Kim at? I know she's back there somewhere.
Stand up, Kim.
We have another 4 scheduled for what date?
March the 22nd,
And that will get us to a total number of 7.
7, yeah, that'll leave 2 more to
And
purchase.
we'll have 2 more to purchase, and then after we get all those purchased, then we can start the,
So there
Well,
were
no,
9 properties?
We're not starting the demo until we get the FEMA money, right?
Yeah, we're waiting for approval for phase 2.
yeah,
I didn't,
that's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
were there 9 properties?
9.
That's what she said.
I didn't know there were 9, I
Well,
thought there were 8.
there's
Now, are you talking about that
One is
vacant
just- yeah.
property, that Claymont
Yeah.
thing?
One doing
Claymont,
the
okay.
I think it's called
Okay, I got,
Craigmont Estates, maybe?
yeah, there's nothing there, but, yeah,
That's what
gotcha, gotcha, okay, that's what, yeah.
Structure.
You're right. There's
8 structures.
8 with structures.
Right.
You're correct. That is correct.
But we do thank you all from the bottom of our heart. Sure do.
Well, you're more than welcome.
Well, as long as you build back the city, everything will be fine.
Look,
Or buying the city.
I'd also like to thank Bob Ford, seriously. Mayor
Yes.
Bob Ford.
That needs
He's
to
the
be
one that
done.
got this going.
Yes. You need to thank Mr. Porter.
I just wanted to add to the meeting that we're having Thursday night.
Uh-huh.
We do have a speaker coming from the National Weather Service who's going to talk about our river crest and the historic crest and the impact. And it's just going to be a neat little presentation that they're going to do to kind of kick off the meeting. And if someone has particular questions, about historic crests or, the cresting of the river, and we have gauges, that people may not know we have gauges that monitor our river, they'll be able to answer questions like that for us.
Okay. Anybody else on the floor? I have a motion to adjourn.
I make said motion.
Second. All in favor? Opposed?
My rock. Want my rock? I will donate it. Let me tell you, that